takeaways kind of going into an SEC opponent this year?
Two questions. Last week I would say based on how we started the games, was really felt pretty good about it after the weekend. I really thought the weather on Monday was probably a blessing in disguise. I think first weekend out, asking them to play 4 games, 4 days in a row was probably asking a little too much. And really thought it was the right thing to do to not bounce back some bullpen arms, after throwing 40 or 50 pitches on Friday or Saturday. And as far as Kentucky goes, excited about, them getting in here, excited about playing them.
What stands out to you about their lineup? They've got a lot of really talented guys, College, Shelby, all of them. What sticks out to you about the Wildcats?
I hadn't looked at the lineup quite as much as the pitching. You probably have to ask Matt that question. Looked at it a little bit. I mean, they've always, they're going to have big physical left-handed hitters. If you've ever been to their ballpark, you'd know why. And so, it's they had an awful good lineup last year. I mean, I've seen a little bit, but nothing really sticks out at me.
Thompson's the only guy that at least started returning. How much different does their rotation look this year, and what are you expecting from them?
We saw their Saturday guy out of the bullpen twice last year. We recruited the kid that's going for him on Sunday. I think it probably came down to us two. And so, Jelly last year, obviously, I don't know what round he went in, but he was a handful. He was like 6, I don't know, he was tall, had some angle. Ramsey's a little bit like that. Thompson's a handful on Friday. Really, going into the weekend, you better deal with day one first. And so, he's a Team USA guy, kind of like the guy last week, and has some pitchability and be a good challenge for us.
Who was the pitcher you said that y'all recruited? That's pitching for months ago?
His last name's Marsh. Pitches on Sunday.
Just overall, how did you feel the way Gabe was able to get on base last weekend, just the way he was able to battle against at-bats?
Who's that?
Gabe Holt.
Gabe's, biggest, he when he separates balls and strikes, he can hit leadoff for anybody, anywhere, in any league, and has the ability to do that. And he's a lot of fun to watch, and really that's where it all starts. I mean, he's a guy who can really do that and put the bat on the ball.
What impressed you the most about Montgomery's outing last weekend?
Probably the biggest thing is just mound presence. Staying within himself, pitch to pitch, probably those two things.
You going with the same rotation? Excuse me. You going with the same rotation this weekend?
No, we're not.
Can you share who you're going with?
We're going to start Erickson Landing tomorrow, and we're going to go Killian, and we're going to go Montgomery. Since you asked.
What did you like out of Erickson coming out of the pen over the weekend?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you throw a guy in the first inning in the bases loaded situation. He made some pitches, and I thought he had good late life on the fastball. Thought, everything kind of lined up where you go, okay, this guy, he's had 20 starts in his career. He started games in Omaha. He started games everywhere you can imagine. So why not run him out there?
He said last week that after, I think he said 6 weeks of rest and six weeks of rehab, then his arm felt good again. What did you see from him maybe in the fall and just kind of in his preparation leading up to the season in terms of
who are we talking about?
Lang, Erickson.
I thought he's healthy in the fall. He's healthy over the winter, and he's been throwing the ball well, threw the ball good in the fall, and should give us a chance to go out and play some defense behind him.
Have you been able to talk to Bonin since his start, and just where do you think he's sitting at right now?
Have we talked to him?
Yeah, just in general, where
we've talked to him. He threw yesterday on a simulated deal, and he's working through some things. And biggest thing for Bryce, be ready to go when we call him.
What would you like Erickson Lanning's role to be? If everything goes well for him, a starter every weekend, or a guy who goes between starting and the
Oh, I mean, I think since we're starting him tomorrow, I think, yeah, ideally, I think we'd like to see him go out and pitch well tomorrow and then go from there. In a perfect world, you could give anybody on our team, any pitcher on our team, the ball any day of the week and feel like they can go out and pitch 5 or 6 innings. It's not a perfect world. I mean, guys got to stay within themselves. They got to stay pitch to pitch. You know, there's a learning curve there with guys with good arms. And I'm not talking about Erickson here, but there's a learning curve there when, just like a hitter staying within themselves, staying in the middle of the field, a pitcher understanding, you know, location is location. It's not how hard, it's location.
How much better is Braxton seeing the ball like this year compared to last? You think there's a lot of different in his plate presence?
Was last weekend for sure. He must have been seeing it pretty good. You know, Braxton's a hard worker. Shows up, ready to play. Not sure he's ever made a B in his career here in the classroom. Just off the charts makeup. And I mean, there's a reason the guy caught for us down the stretch last year, because he can really catch and throw, and also the mental side of it, just staying with the game. He's been pretty good at that.
Go ahead.
The fact that y'all brought in 2 talented young catchers, you think that gave him any more motivation than he already had? Just competition for the position.
I think competition's always good, and I think we'll have it throughout the year. You know, Mason Menzie was dinged up throughout the whole fall. He's really just now kind of getting his feet on the ground. He's a guy, you know, that can push all the other 2, and he's a switch hitter. You know, Stillwell had a rough day last week. We kind of need to get him going. But yeah, I think the competition, when you got 3 guys, absolutely. I mean, when you got to show up and compete each day, it's going to help.
You're an even-keeled guy as a baseline, and so is your team. But how hard is it to not overreact or underreact, just having just 3 games at this point in the season for getting ready for your second series?
Well, we were only supposed to have 4. And so really the way we look at that, losing the game to weather on Mondays, it gives us an opportunity to, you know, maybe go on the road and play double midweek at some point if we need to, which sometimes is what you need instead of just 1 game. You know, I think the week, honestly, I think you look across college baseball, you know, I think the midweek games after week 1 for these guys it's asking a lot. You think about our Christmas break, and you think about how many innings we've played. We've really played, going into opening weekend, we've played a total of 3 or 4 inter-squads that lasted 9 innings, and that's it. And so, and then you start talking about back-to-back days, you start talking about batting practice, you start talking about managing their energy and staying healthy. You know, it's still, you got to be in it for the long haul, not necessarily just the short term.
Josh, I guess last weekend, I know you're hitting the ball pretty hard, but you got a couple outs. Did you feel like you was eventually going to kind of get
Yeah, Friday night, that was a tough deal. Can't really do anything about it. That's baseball. But the game all evens out, because I think I had some squigglers find holes, so I mean, it all evens out.
How did you just feel overall after the first the opening weekend?
You know, we struggled a little bit early in games, but I think being able to come back and get those 2 wins in games 2 and 3 just showed our resiliency as a team. But then it also is like a confidence boost for us, you know, and we're never out of a game. All we got to do is play 9 innings.
Just how we felt about Gabe and his development, being in the outfield, kind of being able to see an infielder throughout his career.
Yeah, last year you could say that it was a little rough when he misplayed balls, but now it's like he plays with the best of them. He's just got unbelievable speed, as we've all seen for over a year now, and he's just his ability to go make plays and be a playmaker on the team is awesome. And then in the leadoff spot, there's nothing that man can't do with a bat in his hand.
How important was fall ball for him, just in terms of just getting reps in the outfield?
Yeah, I think it was very important to learn angles, learn how to see the ball off the bat, and take a first step. I think it was huge for him, and it's paid off. He looks pretty good out there.
What are some of the things that you and the team worked on in practice this week after the first series is over?
I would say one thing is to get ahead early, to have good at-bats early, not wait till the second or third time through the order. Really just honing in on our approach. Another thing was pickoffs and holding runners. We let a few base runners steal this past weekend, so we really honed in on just holding runners on bases and not letting them be able to just say, oh, we're looking once and taking off.
What stood out to you about this Kentucky pitching staff?
Thompson's good. I played with him this summer. He's got a good curveball, power guy. Other than that, I haven't seen much because they're a younger team. They have a lot of new guys from last year. Last year, they were all veterans that pitched against us that threw hard. They were really tall. Jelly was really tall. He was like 6'10". Another guy was like 6'11". So that was tough, but I don't know much other than Thompson.
I know you guys are busy with Team USA, but you guys talk about last year's series at all? Keep in contact? Talk about what's coming up this week?
It's always bragging rights. Whenever you do good against someone or they do good against you, I think I was like 1 for 3 off Thompson or something, and so he always talks about it, saying he struck me out. I think I did get a hit off of him that took the lead at one point in that game, so I'd always fire back about that. But I mean, it's always, you know, just little nitbits at each other, just messing with each other.
So Josh, the SEC team coming, is there anything extra or something more fun about just kind of playing a team that everyone just kind of thinks SEC kind of good conference?
Yeah, they're a great conference. They're known for their pitchability. But, you know, them coming to town, all you hear is about the SEC, how great the SEC is. And so when you get to play an SEC team, it kind of lights a fire under your belt and say, hey, let's go make a name for the Big 12 real quick. And so, I mean, that always just sparks us to go play even harder, especially with the SEC coming.
Just overall, how do you kind of feel you've kind of improved from your infielding to your outfielding from last year to this year? Because I know kind of coming in, you just kind of know the infield, and now you're kind of learning the outfield, and obviously got a lot better at it.
It was for sure difficult. You know, I've never really played outfield. I've always played infield my whole life, so making the switch was kind of hard. But I mean, during the fall, I got some time out there, so that definitely helped. I feel pretty comfortable out there now.
What were the main things you kind of did during fall ball that kind of helped you? Was it the angles, or I guess what were some things that really kind of helped you hone your skills?
We did a lot of drills, so that definitely helped. It was really, I mean, my main thing last year was my first set was always in, so I learned to just kind of read it first and go from there.
It's just how you kind of feel about your performance last weekend. I know you got on base about 9 out of 10 times. It seemed like you were kind of seeing the ball pretty well, or if you didn't, you were able to get on base because of balls.
I felt pretty good. My job, I guess, is to get on base as a leadoff guy. So I mean, try to do that as much as possible, and just mainly, I mean, if I get on base, it just puts pressure on the defense, and it gets. Like our guy behind me get a lot of fastballs, so like I said, try to get on base.
I know you get up for every single game, but as a guy from the SEC country, I mean, do you get a little more amped up when you're playing an SEC team like Kentucky?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, last year we went there and had a pretty good series with them this year, so I mean, I would say the same thing this year. I would say it should be a good one.
What do you remember from Thompson? Basically, I guess one of the only starters back from that. I know you saw some guys out of the pen, but what do you expect from him? Do you remember at bats against him in that second game?
I mean, I remember he was good for sure. Honestly, I don't remember too much. I feel like that was forever ago, and the weather was terrible, so it wasn't too fun playing there. But I mean, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be a guy that we're gonna have to compete against and just have good at bats and go from there.
You guys have traditionally been a very even-keeled, never getting too high, never getting too low type team. But how do you not overreact to the bad things or the good things that happened last weekend after just one series?
I mean, I didn't really know what to expect last week. I mean, kind of a young team, have a lot of new guys. I mean, we only have, like 3 or 4 guys from last year in the starting lineup. So, I mean, really just go out there and it's just play and, I mean, get better every weekend.